This is how you get a literary agent to further your career. Hi, my name is Joel Mark Harris, and I am the author to The Secret to Writing Your First Book, The Essential Guide, and in this video, I want to talk to you about how to get a literary agent. If you want a literary agent, you have decided to go traditionally published route, and that means you need to jump through a whole bunch of hoops. First off, before you do anything, you need to get a literary agent. But what do they do exactly? They're almost like a coach. They represent you to the publishers. They will try to get you the best book deal possible. Literary agents, they don't take any upfront fee or they get paid. They get paid when you get paid. So they basically, like a lawyer, they take a percentage of your cut. Now, if you approach a literary agent and they want a upfront fee, I would run the opposite direction because usually they are unethical and they are not a traditional literary agent. The benefits, of course, of a literary agent is it's the first hoop that you need to jump. Most reputable publishers won't actually take your manuscript if it's unsolicited, and that means that if you don't have somebody representing you, then basically just throw your manuscript in the trash and they won't take a look at it. You need a literary agent to get into any of the big publishers, and even most of the smaller ones these days, you need a literary agent. How do you find a literary agent? That's always the hardest part. There is the Writers Marketplace. They put out a yearly guide of all the reputable literary agents, so you can pick one up, a copy of that up. You can easily Google. Twitter used to be a good place to find literary agents. You still can find them on X, as it's called. But basically, if you want to do your research first, literary agent will have a submission guidelines, and you need to follow those guidelines to T if you want them to take a look at it. A lot of them will ask for a query letter. Some of them will ask for maybe the first 10 pages of your manuscript, and you need to make sure that literary agent actually represents your genre. For example, I'm writing a historical fiction book. I won't approach a literary agent that represents nonfiction. Each literary agent has a niche that they represent. They have the contacts for those types of books. So make sure you're not wasting your time and their time by sending a literary agent who does not represent that niche. So once you've figured out the guidelines, you'll need to write a query letter, which is basically a short synopsis of what your book is about, a little bit about yourself and about your kind of qualifications and what makes you marketable and what makes you a really good person to be represented. Because you have to remember that they probably get dozens of query letters in the mail each day. You really need to stand out and really need to sell yourself in terms of why should they represent you or why are you a good fit for them. But of course, you also want to make sure that the literary agent is a good fit for you as well. You don't want to just think about this book. You want to think about 3-4 books from now and what your career will look like. If they want to take your career in a certain direction and you see yourself in a different direction, then maybe that person is not right for you. When you submit your query letter to the literary agent, you have to be prepared for a lot of rejection. And that's just sort of the name of the game. You have to do multiple submissions, and hopefully, you'll find the right fit for you. But you have to shift through a lot of different rejections and a lot of different agents before you find the right one. You kind of have to have a bit of a kind of nerves of steel, if you will, if you want to find a good literary agent that will represent you. Once you find a good agent, your book submitted to them, they like it, they take you on, then they will help you and represent you to the major publishers, probably find editors for you and make suggestions on your manuscript, how to make it more sellable or what you should change. You don't necessarily have to make the changes or you have to agree with them all the time. They should really be a guide, kind of like a coach, as I said before, in your book and in your career. But hopefully you can find somebody that aligns. So yeah, that's how you find a literary agent. It's definitely a very difficult process, and I would say minimum it takes about 6 months to find a good literary agent that will represent you. But don't feel down if you aren't represented right away. It takes time, as I said. And once you do find a literary agent, then it's really the first step into the much larger career of becoming an author. I hope you liked this video and hopefully you found it useful. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.